A very pleasant good morning and a hearty welcome to all the participants joined with us today for this day 4 Faculty Development Program on Stress Management, sponsored by AICTE et al. And coordinated by Government College of Engineering, Tirunelveli. Before we start the session of day 4, I would like to walk you through the glimpses of day 3, a 10-minute exploration. Day 3, session 1 was on stress management in teaching and learning process. The resource person introduced us to the definition of stress, stating that stress is the feeling of being overwhelmed or unable to cope with mental or emotional pressure. He also introduced us to the father of stress, Hans Selye. Stress has two categories. They are eustress and distress. Eustress is considered to be a positive stress and distress is considered to be a negative stress, and it is furthermore categorized into acute stress and chronic stress, and chronic stress is considered to be a disastrous stress. Stress has four types, starting from stress happens because of time, anticipatory stress, situational stress, and encounter stress. Stress can be felt in our body, emotions, mind, and behavior. The sources of stress are mainly categorized under four as money, work, family relationship, and health concerns. The recipe of stress comes under novelty, unpredictability, threat to ego, and sense of control. Sir also highlighted the gap of generation as it starts from lost generation, people who born in the year 1890, and the current generation as Generation Z, people who born between 1995 to 2012. He also highlighted the difference between millennials and Gen Z. Millennials are people, we can very well relate ourselves to the millennials because we are tech savvy. We can manage two screens at once, maybe a laptop and a mobile phone. We often like to communicate with text. We are curators and we are sharers, and we are focused about what is at present right now. We are optimistic and we want to be discovered. Gen Z are the students we are teaching. If you are in a teaching scenario, the students who you are teaching come under Gen Z, and they are tech innate. They can manage five screens at once. They like to communicate with images. They are creators and they are good collaborators. They are future focused and they are realistic, and they want success in whatever things they do. The current generation falls under alpha generation, and we can say that the children from age 1 to age 8 can be scaled with this alpha generation. They are mobile phone savvy, they're addicted to mobile, they are globally well known, they learn through visual aids, and they are digitalized, and they are socially ready to mingle with others. After introduction of the generation gap, we learned about the method of teaching has also changed from the traditional classroom of teacher-centric to the eugenic classroom of student-centric. And the resource person also highlighted the important activities of brain. In order to manage our stress, it is highly essential to have an idea about the brain and its activities. Brain is considered to be a social organ. Generally, we have two brains, and we have conscious awareness and unconscious processing, which occur at two different speeds. And the body, mind, and brain has to work together to give highest potential of work, and the brain has a short span of understanding ability, and so it is needed to channelize or readdress the thought process again and again to have a better understanding. Fear and stress are the two factors that impair learning. We give importance in analyzing others often, and brain can discover the details, so it is important for us to give a big picture to the students and let them discover the details of the things that they are learning. And these are the management techniques that we can follow in teaching and learning process, starting with dealing with second-hand stress, adjusting to newness, meeting the students' needs, and making mistakes. When we make mistakes, we have to think that it's okay to make mistakes. We should be able to meet students' expectations. We should be having good classroom management, and we should review the performance of the students every now and then. And we should be questioning the students in a creative manner. And we should be able to manage our time with adequate technical tools. And we should be prepared to face the students at any time. In order to manage the stress, we have to self-discipline ourselves. So in order to self-discipline ourselves, the resource person highlighted following up of Napoleon Hill's 10 rules, starting with being cool-headed, believe that there are three sides to argument, never direct anyone when you're angry, treat everyone like a rich relative, consider unpleasant situations to be an experience, ask questions and listen to the answers, and be a good listener. Think well before doing anything. Know the differences between friendly analysis and unfriendly criticism. Take orders cheerfully and be tolerant to everything. So, if you follow all these things, of course, we can achieve self control and we can manage stress in teaching and learning process. Day 3, session 2 was on stress on coping. Stressors were introduced to us by the doctor, who was considered to be the resource person of yesterday. A few stresses are listed out here: being unhappy in our job, having heavy workload, working for long hours are considered to be a few stresses that distress our life. Stresses are classified into six: single stress, multiple stress, recurrent stress, continuous stress, stress only to self, community stress. And who are at the risk of stress? Maybe we can say every single individual, especially students who are undergoing parental rejection and people who are having marital issues and moving from one environment to a new environment. We can also say the students who are moving on from plus 2 to a college education, and people who are facing financial issues or at the risk of facing stress. Stress can be both helpful and harmful. It is helpful in a fight or flight technique for survival, and it is harmful because it affects our physical, psychological, and relationship issues. What are the symptoms of stress? Feeling unsleepiness, weight gain or weight loss, stomach pain, irritability, panic attack, and headaches are considered to be a few symptoms of stress. And what is physically in charge for secretion of this stress is the adrenal enzyme. When the adrenal enzyme is released, it increases our heartbeat, it increases our breathing rate, and it makes us ready to face stress. But if it is secreted in excess, it creates a perspiration and it inhibits the insulin production, and in the long run, facing diabetes. Stress is caused by another enzyme named cortisol, which raises the amount of glucose in the bloodstream, and it also alters the immune system, increases the blood pressure, and finally results in type 2 diabetes. So the symptoms of stress are listed out here. So in order to cope up with stress, we have to understand that we are important pillars of the family. We should be connecting with people. We should ventilate ourselves. We should ask for help. We do have to help others. And we should restrict our media time and screen time. Do a lot of physical exercise and yoga. Create alternative recreations like reading, music, gardening, and household work. Thus, following these strategies, we can cope up with the stress we are facing in our day to day life. Day 3, session 3 was on impact on stress and on physical and mental health. The doctor started with the causes of stress as frustration, conflict, change, and pressure. And how we respond to the stress is through annoyance, anger, rage, anxiety, fear, sadness, etc. The factors that we can that can be helpful to moderate stress or social support, optimism, consciousness, and atomic reactivity. What are the indicators of stress? In physical method, we can say that we sweat a lot, heart rate increases, pale skin, we have dry mouth, and the psychological aspects are fear, anxiety, anger, depression, etc. The cognitive indicators are unable to think properly, loss of self control, and daydreaming. So the techniques to manage stress are highlighted by the resource person as following up of a laughter method, autogenic training, hobby, meditation, doing breathing exercise, yoga nidra, nootropics, and relaxation. To conclude, I could say that I would like to read out a few words of Napoleon Hill. States that everyone faces defeat. It may be a stepping stone or a stumbling block, depending on the mental attitude with which it is faced. I would like to read it out once again. Everyone faces defeat. It may be a stepping stone or a stumbling block, depending on the mental attitude with which it is faced. With this, I would like to conclude the recap session of day 3, and I welcome you.